Hi guys, I hope you all are doing well and welcome to the next video of this entire series of Exchange Server 2019. In the last video, we talked about Outlook Anywhere and MAPI over HTTP. In this particular video, we will be talking about IMAP and POP protocols. We will understand how these two protocols work. We will discuss how to enable and configure these protocols in Exchange Server. And then we will configure Outlook client using these protocols for one of the on-premise Exchange users. IMAP and POP are email protocols. You can use either one of these protocols and you can configure your Exchange mailbox in Outlook client. But there are few advantages and disadvantages of using these two protocols. POP protocol is designed for offline message processing. That means POP protocol doesn't synchronize your mailbox. When you configure your mailbox in Outlook client using POP protocol, it downloads your emails to the local machine, and the same email is removed from the email server. Now, if you will configure the same mailbox on a different machine, you will not find those emails in your inbox because your emails were removed already from the email server. Moreover, POP protocol downloads emails only from your inbox folder. It doesn't download emails from your spam folder, deleted items folder, or any other folder of your mailbox. POP protocol doesn't offer advanced collaboration features, for example, calendaring, contacts, and tasks. But there are a couple of advantages of using POP protocol. For example, POP protocol works well when you have a slow internet connection. And there is no limitation on the size of the inbox folder if you are using POP protocol. IMAP protocol offers offline and online message processing. Whenever you read an email from the email server, that email is not downloaded to your local machine until you download it manually. But still, if you download an email from the email server, a copy of that email stays within the email server. So if you will configure the same mailbox on a different machine, you will get same emails on the other machine as well. IMAP can synchronize your emails from multiple folders of your mailbox. But when you are using IMAP protocol, if you delete an email from your mailbox, that email will be deleted from the email server as well. And you will not be able to recover those emails. Like POP protocol, IMAP protocol also doesn't support collaboration features like calendaring, contacts, and tasks. So these are the basics of POP and IMAP protocols. Now let's move towards our lab and let's configure IMAP and POP protocols in Exchange Server 2019. Before you start configuring IMAP and POP protocols in your Exchange server, you need to start IMAP and POP services. By default, IMAP and POP services startup type is set to manual. That means whenever you will start your Exchange server or you will restart your Exchange server, these two services will not start automatically because the startup type is set to manual. Now, if you want to change the startup type from manual to automatic, you can double click on this service and next to startup type, select automatic and press apply and OK. Next time when you will start or reboot your Exchange server, this service will start automatically. So as of now, the startup type is manual. So we need to right click and we need to start these services manually. We will start backend service as well for both IMAP and POP protocol. Let's start POP services as well. Click start. Let's start backend service. So these services are running now. These four services are running. Now the next thing that we need to do is we will go to Exchange Admin Center and then go to servers, go to certificates and double click on the SSL certificate that you have purchased or you have got from a third-party certification authority. Then go to services and make sure that IMAP and POP, these two services are associated with this certificate. So you need to simply check the box next to the service and then click Save. So once these two steps are done, we will go to Exchange Management Shell, and now we will configure or we will associate the Exchange URLs with POP and IMAP services. So let's configure first POP service, and we will run set-pop settings, external connection settings, and here we will type the URL for the Exchange server. For my case, it is mail.office365concepts.com. Then we will use the port number that will be used by the POP protocol. And we will add SSL because we want this communication to be encrypted. Again, we will use mail.office365concepts.com. And this time we will use port 110 with TLS. And after that, we will bind the certificate with this service. And for that, we will use X509 certificate name. And here you will type the name of this certificate. You can double click on this certificate. And here you can see the subject. So either you can copy the value or you can simply type in Exchange Management Shell. And for my case, it is office365concepts.com. This is the name of the SSL certificate. Press enter. And now we need to restart the POP service. So either you can do it from here, services.msc, or let me show you how to do it from PowerShell. So you will simply run restart hyphen service and then service name, for example, MS Exchange POP3. And we will restart the backend service as well. That is restart hyphen service MS Exchange POP3 BE. Press enter. So this part is done. We have configured POP service in Exchange server. Now let's configure the IMAP service. So you can use the same command, but you need to make certain changes here. And the first change that we need to do is instead of POP, we will use IMAP. That is set-IMAP settings. Next, we will change the port number, leave the URL as it is because this is the URL for our Exchange server. So it has to be same for both the services. But here we need to change the port number. IMAP will use 993 and port 143. And then certificate name and press enter. So IMAP is configured as well. Now we need to restart the IMAP service as well. So instead of POP, you can simply type IMAP. And here as well, let me remove 3 from here. Press enter. Let me correct this command. It is IMAP 4. And here as well, and press enter. So we have successfully configured POP and IMAP protocols or services in our Exchange server. The next thing that we need to do is we need to open certain port numbers on our network. So let me go to my router and let me open ports for IMAP and POP protocol. So first I'll open 993. My server is 52. Then I will open 995. Next 143. So I'm going to open these 4 ports 993, 995, 143, and 110. Let's save this. So once you have opened the port numbers and you have configured the IMAP and POP services in your Exchange server, the next thing that you need to do is you need to configure the authenticated SMTP settings for POP and IMAP clients so that they can send emails. So let's go to mail flow and go to receive connectors. In receive connectors, you will see a connector with name client front end, and then you will see the name of your Exchange server. This connector accepts the request on port 587. POP and IMAP protocols will use this connector to receive emails on port 587. So if you'll go to scoping for this connector, under fully qualified domain name, you will see the default fully qualified domain name of your Exchange server. But you need to change this fully qualified domain name to the URL for which you have configured your DNS records, for example, the A record or MX record. So for my case, the public DNS records are configured for mail.office365concepts.com. So as per your requirement, as per your Exchange server configuration, you can change the fully qualified domain name of this connector. So once you have made the changes, click Save. And same can be verified or can be configured from Exchange Management Shell as well. If you want to verify the configuration of your receive connector, you can run get-receive connector, then name of the connector, client front end Exchange, and look for FQDN. So it says mail.office365concepts.com. If you want to modify this, you can run set-receive connector, then name of the connector, client front end Exchange, FQDN, and then type the value and press enter. So this way you can modify the attribute from PowerShell as well. Now the next step is we will bind the SSL certificate with the receive connector that we just configured. Now there are a few PowerShell commands. You can get those PowerShell commands from TechNet article. You can look for an article that says configure authenticated settings for POP and IMAP. Go to this article and scroll down to step 2, and you need to use these commands, these 3 commands. So first we will run get-exchange certificate, because first we need this certificate that we want to bind with POP and IMAP services. So this is the SSL certificate, office365concepts.com. I will copy the thumbprint of this certificate and let me paste this value on a notepad. And let's copy this command, paste it here, remove the value and paste this value here. Press enter. This is done. Let's copy the second command, enter. Let's go back to article and let's copy the third command as well and press enter. So this is done as well. Now, if you want to verify the configuration or the attributes, you can run get-receive connector, client front end Exchange, and then we will look for fully qualified domain name, and we will look for TLS certificate name and press enter. So fully qualified domain name says mail.office365concepts.com and TLS certificate name says office365concepts.com, the one that we have got from Let's Encrypt. So this part is done as well. Now, the most important part of this configuration is to verify if POP and IMAP protocols are enabled on the mailbox level. Because if these protocols are disabled on the mailboxes, users will not be able to configure their profiles in Outlook client using either IMAP or POP protocols. By default, these protocols are enabled. But still, if you want to verify, you can either verify from Exchange Admin Center or from Exchange Management Shell. I will show you both ways. Go to Exchange Admin Center, double click on any mailbox, and then go to Mailbox Features. Under Mailbox Features, you can see IMAP enabled, POP3 enabled. So for this particular user, these protocols are enabled. Now, if you want to verify same attributes or same configuration from Exchange Management Shell, you will run get-cache mailbox, then name or the email address of the user, and then look for IMAP enabled and POP enabled. Press enter. So it says IMAP enabled, POP enabled. Now, if you want to verify the same configuration for all the mailboxes in your Exchange server, you can run get-cache mailbox hyphen result size unlimited, and then look for IMAP enabled and POP enabled. Press enter, and this will list the protocols. Even you can add one more attribute, and that is display name, like this. So you will get display name and protocol values as well for all the mailboxes in your Exchange server. If you want to test POP connectivity in Exchange server, you can run test hyphen POP connectivity client access server. Here you will type the name of your Exchange server, then mailbox credentials, and get hyphen credential. Here we will type our domain name office365concepts.com / name of the user. Press enter, and let's type the password here. So the result says success. In the same way, you can run the same command for IMAP connectivity as well in order to check the IMAP configuration, whether it is configured properly or not. So this as well says success. So everything is done. We have successfully configured POP and IMAP services in Exchange Server. So now you can go ahead and you can configure your profiles in Outlook client using either POP or IMAP settings. In the next video, we will be talking about cutover migration. We will discuss how cutover migration works, what are the prerequisites those are required to be met before we start a cutover migration, and we will migrate all our on-premise mailboxes to Office 365 using cutover migration. So that is all for now. I will see you all in the next video. Thank you guys. Thank you for your time. Take care.